We are on page 257. Okay. And we're going to talk about today, okay, what if we actually have ax squared plus bx plus c? Okay. How are we going to determine where our vertex is and what our graph is going to look like? Yes.
May I have a pencil?
So I want you to think of a parabola. A parabola can open up, it can open down. Which kind of parabola would give us a maximum value? Okay, if we had a parabola that opens upside down, we would have a maximum. And that maximum would be the y coordinate. Okay, it's the highest point, it's the highest y value. Okay, on the flip side, see what I did there? Flip. Okay, the vertex would give us our minimum value if our graph opens up. If our parabola opens up, our vertex will be the very lowest point. Okay, so we're going to have some scenarios where I ask you, like, for the maximum or the minimum, we need to think about these things. Okay, well, what if we have ax squared plus bx plus c? Okay, we know how a is going to affect the graph. It's going to make it wider or skinnier. Okay, but that bx is really going to affect things. Okay, so our vertex is going to move when we have that plus bx plus c, and this is how we are going to find it. Okay, so I want you to highlight this, circle it, whatever you need to do. Okay, but the x coordinate of our vertex is negative b over 2a. No matter what our equation is, we can find the x coordinate of our vertex by taking negative b over 2a. End of story. Okay. So I'd like you to write down for me f of x is x squared plus 6x plus 11. Okay. All right. What is A? A is 1. What is B? I would say B is 6 and C is 11. Okay. A, B, C. So if we go to find our vertex, we know that the x coordinate of our vertex is negative b over 2a. So if we take our numbers here, negative b over 2a, what would the x coordinate of our vertex be?
So that's the x coordinate?
That's the x coordinate. Henry, what do you think we should do with the x coordinate?
Bring it up by 11 because the c.
Yeah, I wish that was the case, but when there's a b, the c is going to move it up, but not necessarily 11. Okay, so what we need to do if we want to find the y coordinate, we need to plug it in. Okay, so we need to find f of negative 3. Okay, we need to plug negative 3 into x squared plus 6x plus 11, so we know what the y value is. right. What is 9 minus 18 plus 11? Kyron says 2. Do we believe him? Did anybody double check him? Okay. So what does this mean? This means that we have a vertex at -3, 2. This also means that our axis of symmetry is the vertical line going through the vertex, right? If I have a vertex at -3, 2, my axis of symmetry is going through that vertex. So I know my axis of symmetry is x equals -3 without even really having to graph it. Okay, because we know that's just where the axis of symmetry lands. This is actually pretty nice because we don't have to think too hard. Like in your homework, you had to tell me, you know, it's wider, it's skinnier, it's moving up, it's moving down, it's reflecting, whatever. In order to find our vertex here, we have a formula. As long as you pick out the numbers correctly, you're going to be okay. Right, Connor? What?
I like the directions.
You like the directions? Okay. Go ahead and turn the page. And what I would like you to do is I would like you and your elbow partner to find the vertex of this number 1 and this number 3. Okay. So we would have -10. Yeah. So here, I'll remind you right here. I'll write it so you don't have to flip back. X equals -b over 2a.
Who would you say is your least favorite teacher in school? So this, I have like. I don't even have her. I can read you. I didn't have anything to do with your teachers. I'm thinking Mr. Boar's. I knew it. I'm thinking. You are not. The thought. Like, you know,
I'm getting some people with 5, -23 as an answer.
Yeah. What?
They are correct.
I'm lost. That's what I got. I feel like Taylor Swift was like, I don't expect.
Oh wait, no, because the 2 negatives. What 2 negatives? Because this is a negative. So they What is the formula?
Yes. So X is negative B over two. What's B? So negative over two A. So we have 10 over 2, which is 5. Okay. So that's how we got this. Now, in order to get our Y value, we need Y, X, this is for X. Why are you wondering? I don't. Okay.
Oh, I'm like really negative.
Where?
Everywhere.
So negative B over 2A. A is negative 2.
So it'd be 8 over negative 2. It's negative 2,
No.
13. What?
It's 8 over 2 times negative 2. Because negative B over 2A.
I got -213.
I still don't get it, but okay.
Okay, we're gonna walk through together. Okay. All right, let's walk through number 1 together. Okay. If X is negative B over 2A, here's A, here's B, here's C. So B is negative 10, A is 1. Negative 10 over 2 times 1 is how we get 5. Okay, Kara, do you see how this is B?
Yeah.
And I put negative B.
So just like.
Okay. A,
Just get rid of
there's no number, so we know it's a 1. 2A. Because that is our,
Oh, so what do we do with the C? Nothing with the C.
you don't need the C until you plug it back in. Okay.
Show me that. Wait, so where'd you get that? Where'd you get next to this negative and then another negative?
So do you see how it's negative B?
Is it like?
Do you see how it's negative B? B is negative 10. So I have negative B.
That's the formula.
Yes.
Ah.
In order to get the Y value, we take this number and we plug it back in to whatever we have. So in this case, X squared minus 10X plus 2.
Oh, okay.
25 minus 50 plus 2 is how we got the negative 23. Okay, so now that some light bulbs are going on, let's walk through number 3. Everybody, it is always X equals negative B over 2 times A. In this number 3, what is B?
Negative.
Negative 8. So we have negative 8. What is our A value?
Negative 2.
So we have 2 times negative 2. So we have 8 over negative 4. So our X value is negative 2. Now we need the Y value. Our Y value, we're going to take
That is
negative 2 times X squared minus 8 times X plus 5. Stop playing with the scissors, please. So we have negative 2 times 4 plus 16 plus 5. Right? So it's 13? Yeah? Yeah?
So,
Yes.
looking for the line of symmetry.
Okay, that's a good question. Ian asked, do we really have to plug it all in for our axis of symmetry? Kaylee? All we have to do for the axis of symmetry is say x equals whatever that x value is for our vertex.
So that y does not.
The y does not affect the axis of symmetry, but you're going to use your vertex more than anything.
Yeah, because we're not going to be here on Monday.
We'll be here for half the period.
Really?
We're going to watch the eclipse together and then do some math.
I say we just skip the math.
Okay. I'm sorry that you feel that way. Okay, so let's talk about what we are going to do if we graph this. Okay, so let's go to the next page. I want to look at number 5. What I would like you to do, I would like you to make an XY chart. Okay. And we are going to find our vertex to put in the middle of the XY chart. So I am going to give you 90 seconds for you and your elbow partner to only find the vertex here for number 5. Oh gosh. The vertex. So what we just did, negative b over 2a to get the x, plug it back in to get the y. I would love to write that for you. X equals negative b over 2a. Yep.
It's not big enough. It's not big enough.
I don't know if I agree with that.
You get -1, -7.
You already got it?
I got one. I got one.
You already got it.
Negative b over 2a.
I got -1.
I like the -1. I don't remember.
I
don't think
I
Oh my. Oh my. Use your brains, people. -1.
-1. So -3.
-3.
No. So +3.
Oh, it's 5. Oh wait, it's -1, -1. No, it's 5. No, it's 5.
Okay, if we take -6 over 2 times 3, the x value of our vertex is what? -1, people. -1. Negative b over 2a. Now here's where we ran into some trouble. I'm not sure why, but when we plug in -1 to 3x squared plus 6x plus 2, we get 3 minus 6 plus 2, which is -1. Yeah. So I'm going to plot a point at -1, -1. And I know that this parabola is going to be skinnier because of this 3. Brooks and Connor, I would highly suggest paying attention. I know this is going to be skinnier because of this 3. This is what we're going to do. If I know that this is where my vertex is, I'm going to pick points on the other side of it. So if I have x as -1, how about I pick 0 and -2 to plug in? How about I pick 1 and -3 to plug in? If I pick a couple to the right and a couple to the left, I can get my shape. Okay. So if you're at the red or green table, please plug in 1. If you're at the purple or yellow table, please plug in 0. If you're at the blue or teal table, please plug in -2. And I will help you and I will plug in -3. How did I do what? So I took this, you know I got -1, right? So so then I plugged it back in just like we did. So look up here.
I got it.
Okay,
When you start starting negative.
same place. And for the X.
Negative
Yeah, I can get that. It's just. It's hard.
Connor, what did you get when you plugged in 1? Actually do it. Yes.
Oh,
I got 6, right?
No. Noah, what'd you get? Reese, what'd you get? 11. Yeah. What'd you get when you plug in 0? What did you get when you plugged in -2?
12.
Wow.
Sorry. When you plug in -2, is that what we're talking about? You would get 3 times 4, which is 12.
Yeah.
Plus 6 times -2.
So it's all the numbers, not just the.
Yeah. Yeah. All the numbers. All the numbers. Okay, so the only thing you really have to like think about, where's my vertex? Pick numbers to the right, pick numbers to the left, and then it's just plugging, 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 plugging. We actually have to do the plugging in correctly. Please use your order of operations. Yes.
So you can like just pick any numbers for the X.
So I wouldn't say any numbers. I would stick to integers right next to it. So since I had -1, I chose 0, 1, -2, -3. If my vertex was at 5, I would choose 6 and 7 on one side, 4 and 3 on the other side. Like pick the integers next to it. Okay. Yeah.
So the only way for like for the graph to start not on like 0
Mm-hmm.
is for there to be an extra number at the end, like 3 numbers.
Yeah. If we have a bx plus c, it's going to be somewhere else. Okay. All right. Now let's talk about what we started our day with. Okay. Tell whether the function has a minimum or a maximum and then find the value. So I want you to use your arms and show me what the graph of number 8 looks like with your arms. Thank you, Kyron. Why is he making it upside down? Because there's a -a. Come on, people. We have a -a. So our parabola is upside down, which means, do we have a maximum or do we have a minimum? We have a maximum. How do we find where that maximum is? For what? Yeah. We got to find the vertex by taking -b over 2a. While you're here, you want to pick up your little things on the floor? Yeah.
This one's Leo's.
Okay. So what's our b value? Oh, hey. Okay, so b is -5. What's a? Yeah. Okay. So what's x?
-5.
It's -5.
-5.
5 over -1, which gives us -5. I need you to focus a little bit more. Lock it in. Okay, so now let's plug this back in. -1/2 times -5 squared minus 5 times -5 plus 2. Ooh, this is fun.
Thank you.
All right, so let's work together on this. This is negative half times 25, right? Plus 25 plus 2. Improper fraction. Yeah. So it's negative 25 halves plus 27. Mhm. You know what? It's fine. I'll just help you. Is that okay?
Just get started.
Wait, is that right?
Yeah, that's right, that's right.
Okay. Okay. So let's talk about what this means. Yeah. So this is negative 25 halves plus 50 halves plus 4 halves. Okay. 25 is 50 over 2. 2 is 4 over 2. Okay, so our vertex is at negative 5 comma 29 halves. What does this mean? This means we have a maximum of 29 halves when x is negative 5. That's what that means. Our maximum value is the y value. It's happening where the vertex is. So we have to use the x to get our vertex to figure out what our maximum is. Okay. What? You are just kind of squirrely today. I want you to read number 14.
The function h equals negative 16.
To yourself. Wait, that's okay. At its highest point. So if we have a parabola that opens which way?
Down.
Down. My rocket is exploding at the vertex. No.
It never says that.
And then you find the vertex.
Okay, so Henry Davis, how do we find the vertex?
The B over.
How about negative b over 2a? So all we have to do is we have to take negative 250 over 2 times negative 16. And now we will know when our rocket explodes because it's exploding at the vertex. Can you please go throw away all of this that you cut apart? It is a decimal, and I know it's a Friday. I'll just do the work for you because I know you don't have your calculators right next to you right now. Okay. What if I wanted to know at what height does the rocket explode? Okay. This is really obnoxious that people think it's time to go at 2:19. We're not even done with notes yet. I haven't even hit the stop recording button. Get your stuff back out. Okay, because what I'm gonna have you do is in number 9. Okay, so I'm gonna post your homework on Google Classroom. You're obviously not gonna start it right now. So what I'm gonna have you do is I'm gonna have you look at number 9 and you're going to find either the minimum or the maximum. Decide if it's a minimum or maximum and find it right now.